Welcome to Animates, a retro anime review comedy podcast. These episodes contain spoilers and adult language, so stick around if you're cool like that. Hello and welcome to Blockbuster, your source for all of the latest and greatest VHS releases. Welcome to Animates, your source for all things retro anime. I'm your kind because I always rewind host, Mackenzie, joined by my no tracking needed co-host, Lindsay.
I was waiting for the Be Kind Rewind reference.
Well, you got it.
I did.
Oh man, sorry about the mess up at the start there, Lindsay.
Oh man, I was wondering what was going on.
I have had VHS tapes on my brain this week.
Is it because we host a retro anime podcast where lots of things are on VHS?
I figured you were going to ask that question, and no, it's not because what we typically watch comes on VHS tapes.
Oh.
See, this week, Lindsay, I wanted to flash back to the 90s.
Okay.
And not just a release date, because a lot of what we watch is in the 90s. No, I'm talking about the 90s when mixtapes were all the rage and AOL was the only way to get online.
Oh man.
A time when a trip to Blockbuster was a big deal and family pizza nights reigned supreme. I loved me a family pizza night. Get X-Men 1 or 2, hell yeah.
X-Men 1 or 2, those came out in the 2000s.
You can have family pizza night when you're like 10.
I know, but we were referencing the 90s.
Shut up.
Should have been like watching Honey, I Shrunk the Kids. I don't know.
Yeah.
Is that movie from the 90s?
A time when VHS tapes held magical powers that could give you your dream girl just by pressing play.
Oh no.
And I do not mean simply because Lena Inverse, Raleigh Vincent, or some other cutie pops up on the screen. I mean literally.
Literally.
The VHS tape would spit out your dream girl to help guide you through life. Or that's what's happening with our main character, Yuta.
Ooh.
Because this week, you'll get to experience that too when we watch Video Girl I.
Oh, I'm excited for this.
See, this story is about poor Yuta, who rents a Video Girl tape to cheer himself up after a devastating rejection.
We've all been there.
But then, exploding from the static comes I, a video girl with a mission to fix his love life. The only problem, her programming is about as stable as an old VCR, and things quickly go from smooth playback to emotional static.
Oh no.
We've got cuties, love triangles, comedy, and moments that'll hit you harder than a Blockbuster late fee, Lindsay.
Oh no, the horror.
Man, the amount of times I was told to like bring a video back and then totally forgot, and then we'd like go to rent something, they'd be like, yeah, you've got $4 of late fees. My mom would just look at me like, oh.
Gonna smack you off our family tree, son. Also, I just want to say Honey, I Shrunk the Kids came out in 89, so I also failed at naming a movie that came out in the 90s.
This thing is adorable. It's not what I would call a mainstream success. Even on Mal, it's only rated by like 12,000 people.
Okay.
It's unique and it's cute. Look how adorable that is.
Oh, that hair is something.
I freaking love her hair.
Okay.
Those silly little curls and look at the guy on the TV. Anyways, no one can see what I'm talking about.
No, but you can post this to
it's
Discord
adorable
or something. Yeah.
Now, this show is a little bit of ecchi.
I was going to say, I can fully see her labia in that one picture.
The ecchi's done more in like a cutesy kind of way instead of just like a,
just a, here it is.
Yeah.
Look
like
at
that.
it.
It's more of a cute kind of way.
It's on Agent Ica?
No. Now, I am going to ask a lot of you this week.
I'm going to ask you to maybe move the labia off the screen. There's your darling face.
Now, I'm going to ask a lot of you this week.
Oh no.
Because this whole thing is only 6 episodes.
Okay, fine. So I'm watching the whole thing.
And the last time we watched 4 of 6 of something, I got so much fucking flack from people being like, it's 2 more fucking episodes, you fucking ding dong. Blah, 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 blah. I don't want to deal with that again.
Fine.
But also, it's an easy series to take notes for.
Perfect. Love
You're
that.
not going to have like pages and pages and pages of notes.
Oh, man. Yeah, I was like, I've got fever brain. I don't know how many pages of notes this will be.
No, because like after 5 episodes of Halloween tropes, I wanted to give us something funny, fresh, and cute. Not saying that Tokimeki Night wasn't cute and fresh and funny, but it was still a Halloween tropey kind of thing.
Yeah, there were still vampires and werewolves in it. This one just has cyborgs or robots or something.
You'll see.
Oh no.
But I think you'll like it.
Okay.
Just the character herself, I love her voice. It's so adorable. It's so good. I'm excited for you to watch this. So let's pop in our Video Girl tapes and see if this OVA series jumps out of the screen at us, or if we are returning it before it's due.
Let's hope it's not that one.
And we're back from watching all 6 episodes of Video Girl I. And I must ask, Lindsay, did this series have you press and play on love, or did you want to fast forward through this one?
No, I definitely did not want to fast forward through this one. This one was cute. I think we'll have some interesting discussions about it. But I think overall, like, I enjoyed watching this series.
It gets weird at times,
A little.
but it is really sweet.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Probably helped that there was like amazing voice actors on the dub.
Hell yeah.
Yep, Maggie Blue O'Hara, which we both love. Her work has been on the show a couple times, Monster Rancher,
A couple.
etc. She's basically like the voice of my childhood. It's fine. And then I guess you didn't know this, but Brad Swale is the lead,
Yes.
who is one of my favorite voice actors.
Your big crush.
Oh my gosh. I thought you didn't tell me because you wanted it to be a surprise. Then before we started recording, you told me that you didn't actually know he was in it.
No, I had no idea. I only looked up Video Girl I because I was like, God, I love her voice. It's so adorable.
Oh, man. It's so good. Oh, I love Maggie Blue O'Hara.
Because like she's that constantly flipping emotions between like happy and ready to beat your ass, but she does it in such a perfectly like chirpy, cocky way in that voice.
Mm-hmm.
I
Yep.
love it. It's so
Yep.
cute.
It's great because it's not annoying, which sometimes those characters can be.
Yeah, but yeah, the whole cast is stacked except for Moemi, who was this lady's only voice acting role, and then she said fuck this shit and went to
Yeah,
just
she
doing
does-
regular acting roles.
Yeah, she does like television stuff.
She
Which I
did
mean,
one
she's been in
anime
a
and-
lot of really high, like top tier TV stuff. So good.
Oh,
for
for
her.
sure. She probably did one anime, and then her agent was like, so we've got some better options, which is the wrong thing to say because voice
Yeah, I was
actors
like,
are
I don't-
amazing.
I was like, I don't think that's correct.
No, I don't mean that's my opinion. I mean like that's her agent's opinion.
Oh, okay.
God, could you imagine if I was just like, anime
Voice
voice
acting.
acting? Some of my favorite people in the world are voice actors. How dare
Right?
they?
I'm like, the amount of emotions that voice actors have made me feel with their work.
Starian.
It's
Oh,
so
Jeffy.
it's so good. The characters like are just so fascinating, and there's so many different like factors to their motivations, and they're just this isn't a podcast about my favorite characters and why. The point is, voice actors are incredible, and I love all of them. No, I don't love all of them. It needs to be more respected.
I get what you're saying. So
I will get off my soapbox now.
I did mention at the start that this is a bit of an ecchi series.
Yeah, I would say
But-
this is like a light ecchi series.
Exactly. Yeah. Like I had mentioned, they were used usually in like comedic or story driven ways. And I think that kind of makes sense here.
Yeah, like it's not grotesque.
No, anytime, like usually, certain things of ecchi bothers me, but this one, just the comedy backing behind a lot of it just kind of like made it feel a lot less weird.
Mm-hmm.
And again, it helps that I is just a cocky little shit just doing it to cause trouble.
I don't know, in that last episode, it's like, oh,
We'll get to that. But yeah, there's definitely a bit more. The last episode is very different from the rest of it.
yeah, there's a lot more emotion in that one.
But, and I'd mentioned this to you on Messenger earlier and sent some examples, the manga is a little more
It's
intense.
beautiful.
But it's
Holy
beautiful.
moly. Like the level of detail and texture in those frames were so good.
Yeah, like the creator of it was like, I'm just going to make everything look really, really good. Way more nudity and a lot more sexy stuff in the manga. I haven't read it, but when I was trying to find examples for you, I was like, whoa, okay. But what's interesting is that the manga and the anime don't end at the same time. So the manga
Okay.
goes to 6 full volumes,
Oh,
but
wow.
the TV show ends at volume 3.
Oh, okay. So there could be
is
a whole 6 other episodes.
Whole 6 other episodes they could have done,
Mhm.
but the other 6, someone dies from having too much sex. It gets really, really weird. But also apparently it breaks your
Mhm.
heart and leaves you a distraught mess.
Oh man, I don't know if I'm
So-
prepared for that right now.
But here's a fun fact. Did you know
Probably not.
this was not the first adaptation of the manga?
Oh, interesting. Okay. Was there like a live action or something that I think I saw?
Yeah.
Yeah, I was looking up the cast or yeah, the show on IMDb and I saw that there was a live action.
There's a live action from, I believe, like a year or two before it came out. But then there's also a second live action. Are you looking at the image I sent you?
I am.
It's very 80s looking.
Wow. They both look robotic.
Yeah.
How is there no emotion in both of their eyes?
I don't know. But then another one came out in 2018, which is
Okay.
set 25 years later, and it's actually Yoda's nephew who rents a video. And this is the cover for that one.
Okay. That one's they again, both look dead behind the eyes.
Yes. Well,
Um
they look even more dead in this next one when the
oh no.
second or third live action came out in 2019, but this one's called
Another
Video Girl Mai.
one? Who needs love? This place has no love. There is no love in that movie. That's not a love movie.
But yeah, surprisingly, even though there's not a lot of reviews for the actual anime, this thing gets a lot of external love.
For the live actions?
And that's not a movie, by the way. Both of those are 12 episode series.
Oh my gosh.
They're full series that got released.
We need to watch this.
They're about a 7 out of 10.
I doubt that, but
That's
okay.
IMDb.
That's I don't no. That doesn't that out. I haven't seen them. I can't judge, but just judging by their posters, I don't believe you.
That's fine. Well, the posters may not have a lot of life, but the characters in the actual show absolutely do, because I love the designs everywhere. I know you made fun of her hair at first, you little bastard.
I know, but I did end up liking it.
Yeah, exactly. Although my favorite hair is Takashi's.
Oh my gosh, Takashi's hair.
It's like,
It's so good.
it's kind of mullety in the back, but you got these like weird wolf ear spikes up the side.
I love it.
And I'm so jealous I can't pull it off, because I tried to think of what it would look like in real life, and it just doesn't look good in real life,
I've seen it feels like Wolverine hair.
which you can pull off in real life and look good.
Yeah, because I would say they pulled it off on Hugh Jackman really nicely in the.
But this is just like two little pieces coming up. So I don't know. It might look a little
Mhm.
strange on some people to make it look natural and not just like hardcore gelled.
Yeah, I feel like if you're like a beautiful Australian, you can pull it off, but I don't know about normal people.
A beautiful Australian.
I mean, I should have just said Australian because
I
I don't know what's in the water down there. But how do you produce Margot Robbie and Ruby Rose and the Hemsworths?
couldn't tell you.
I don't know.
But let's continue this discussion as we get into what we watched.
Yeah, absolutely. So we watched 6 episodes.
Hell yeah.
All of it. Holy moly. Which my internet was not happy today. So this was an all-day thing for me.
At least it starts with such a dang bop of an intro song.
I I don't know how I feel about the intro. I mean, like it's cute and sweet, but I don't know. I found it boring. It's no Dan to Dan.
No, but it's just like it's so like 90s and just
I
like
know.
I don't know. I quite liked it.
It was fine.
What it fine. Well, fuck you too then.
I'm sorry.
I thought I was gonna bring this up and you're gonna be like, oh my god, it was so good.
It was no Ranma.
You don't even like the new Ranma song that much anyways
I
either.
was talking about the old Ranma.
Well, whatever. Anyways, episode 1.
Nothing compares. Anyways, okay, yes. So we open on a TV screen. You know, the nostalgia of the like snow that is it's like tracking and getting the VHS ready. And it's, you know, we got I saying that she's there for you and thank you for choosing her video. And she asks why you look so sad, gives him a pep talk.
Honestly, this would probably captivate many people that were lonely in the 90s and lonely now.
So we'll put on for Patreon bonus content.
Oh my
Us-
god.
Us making our own videos of this.
Y'all, if we get a certain amount of people on that Patreon, we'll make a Lindsay video girl intro talking
my
to you if you're a
gosh.
sad, lonely nerd.
I don't think I have the voice for that.
You just gotta put on a soft and sweet voice.
Are you sad?
Whoa, that's a little moany. Whoa, we gotta lock
Try
that
not-
behind a paywall.
Sorry, that's for our OnlyFans.
Yeah, there you go. Oh, all right. So
my
I's talking
gosh.
to us through the screen. Damn, girl. Are you lonely out there, boys? I'm leaving all of this in, by the way.
my gosh. Okay. Sorry. I'm literally crying. Okay. Anyways. Oh, okay. I'm a professional. I'm a professional. Oh my gosh. Okay. Sorry. Yeah, so she gives him a pep talk. Oh my gosh. Um and if asks if she could be the one to shoot the I'm just picturing me saying this in that voice.
Let's give you a second. I can edit this part out here. Let's give you a second to compose yourself.
Okay, sorry. We're back at it. Basically, she's like, "Oh, you're really sad. Is there anything I can do?" And then she like comes out of the screen, but she kind of like violently comes out and like
Yeah, it's like throws her out with like electric shocks.
she like lands ass up against the wall. But it's just like, okay. So now there is this girl in this teenage boy's room,
And apparently his
and
parents don't live there anymore.
where were his parents in this entire series?
So he mentions that his mom left and his dad works overseas most of the time.
So this child is literally left alone without a guardian.
Yes.
What are Japan's guardianship laws? Is that
I don't
allowed?
I don't know, because it was the same way in
3x3
Orange
eyes?
Road
Oh yeah, that too.
and 3x3 Eyes, yeah. You
Yeah.
said 3x3. You said the thing I was always saying that pissed you off.
I know. I literally was about to say Sazanaizu, and then I was like, no, nobody's gonna know what that is.
No. But no, yeah, that's his situation is his parents just aren't there very often.
Man, it's just weird. I don't know. I don't get it. Anyways, yes. Basically she wakes up and asks him if he wants to have hardcore or something like that.
What?
And he's like, ah!
Him, like, because she's like, ooh, I'll do whatever you want. You want to do the H thing? Like, that was so fucking funny because bro,
Okay.
like, loses his
Not as much as the next scene where he's like, I have to prep for this, and then clips his fingernails like a gentleman. Oh my gosh.
brushing his teeth, does a face mask really quick.
Waxes his knee bangs, like.
And then she's like, what are you doing? I'm just fucking with you.
Yeah, she's like, I don't actually want to. And it was just like, buh.
I love her.
And yeah, it turns out he rented this girl. That sounds terrible. Because he's got caught in a weird love triangle, which, like, hey, McKenzie, do you like triangles? Because this show has triangles and triangles and triangles.
It is hard to keep up at times on who's wanting
Totally.
who. And
You need a board to
Yeah.
like draw out a diagram of who's in love with who, and
yeah.
you know, whatever. Later on we find out that the remote works on I, so that he can like fast forward and blah 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 blah, and she has to stop him before he clicks the stop button, because if he hits that, she disappears. And we learn that he only has a month's worth of tape,
Which is a
for
lot
her.
of fucking tape.
And I was like, holy moly, your power
It must be
bill,
moving like real slow.
right?
but
I was like,
also-
Titanic was what, 4 hours long, and it came on 2 VHSs.
Yeah, I know, right? I also love that she just teases him all the time. She's like, oh, you made my boobs small. Oh, but look, you also made me grow a wiener. And then like makes him like grab her crotch over the pants. And then she's like,
Letcher.
She is kind of cheeky. I
oh
love
my
it.
God. Like, she's like, what a pervert you are. And I'm like, ah, you little.
Well, and then she's like, we have to go take a bath so I can wash your back.
well, that's the thing is part of her initial programming is she has to do like everything to make him like feel comfortable.
Which includes suplexing him.
I mean, look, maybe that
This show is bonkers.
she knows what he's into. I just love that she's like just completely gets naked and he's like, oh, she's like kind of giggles. She's like, oh, was the full Monty a little too soon?
I know, she just says full Monty. I was like, hell yeah.
But hey, he felt uncomfortable with her being naked, so she changed into a swimsuit.
It's true.
It is quite the swimsuit.
Yeah, it's a very, I was like, it'd be a cool dance costume. Like, it looks more like a dance costume.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Anyways, that's pretty much episode 1. We just meet her.
I gotta say, I do appreciate that Yota isn't actually like your typical kind of lecherous character.
I agree.
You know, he got excited when the girl was like, let's do it, but he wasn't just like, oh yeah.
He's not
He was
like the guy from Yours Day.
Yeah, he was like
Oh,
trying to be
interesting.
respectful. He's like, I'm gonna clip my nails, I'm gonna shower, I'm gonna wash
Mhm,
myself.
mhm.
And then when she said no, he's like, oh, okay, that's fine.
Didn't call her a bitch.
Yeah, he has his moments where he's like, but most of the time when she's like being really sexual towards him, he just gets uncomfortable. Were you expecting the start of episode 2 to be like a little Halloween flashback?
Yeah, I was like, oh, this is the intro, but somehow a nightmare?
It's like, girl, like I think it's Moemi comes through the screen instead and just like turns into this demon as because he's having a nightmare.
Yeah, just like this sunken face and just ah. It was weird. But we also in the morning, I make some breakfast, which is not good.
Because he plays her on a broken VCR. It affects her powers, which is honestly like really funny, like kind of storytelling.
Mhm.
Being like, normally she can do all this stuff perfectly, but you put her on a shitty knockoff VCR and now she can't work properly.
Well, he doesn't like her cooking, so she gives him a flying kick to the face for breakfast instead.
Girl is a professional wrestler.
Oh yeah, she can do some like Rhea Ripley would have her work cut out for her if she went against I. Oh man. But yeah, and then we get the line that boobs are the best part of a girl because hers are shrinking and she's like, I don't understand.
She's so pissed about it.
Yeah, she's
She's
like,
like,
Yota, you took my boobs.
what are you doing?
Well, yeah, and then so she comes to school with him, and there's people being like, "Oh, the loser brought a girl to school," and he's like, "Oh no, it's my sister."
Everyone stops caring.
Yeah, exactly.
All back to
Oh,
normal
man.
because they're like, oh, it's your sister. Never mind.
And then later on, like, Moemi comes up, and they're having this private conversation, and she's like, "I liked Takashi, but I don't know," and blah blah blah, and they're having this like really tender moment. I think she like hugs him at one point, and
Hmm.
then I comes up and just gropes her from behind, saying that her boobies are huge. So
But she doesn't even seem all that phased by it, though.
no, but I mean, I guess girls touching girls' boobs isn't a big deal.
Maybe because you just kind of like smiled. She was like, all right, well, I'll see you later. And I was like,
You're right. My boobies are big.
damn, all right. I definitely don't remember being a teenager and just like going up to my buddy, grabbing a hog and being like, nice hog, bro.
Well, we don't go up and grab each other's pussies.
Sorry,
Grab-
grab one of their nuts and be like, nice differential in the sizes, bro.
You didn't grab each other's pecs?
No.
Oh, all right. Oh man. Yeah, I don't even know. Because even like later in that day, I like is like, I'm gonna do good and I'm gonna make a meal for him and like actually learn how to cook. And so she like practices really hard and actually makes like a good meal. And then Yoda comes home with Moemi and they have groceries because she's gonna cook for him. And I is like, oh, great, one moment. And it's like, go hang out in the room for a second. The kitchen isn't dirty. Don't look in here, which is great because it gives them an opportunity for romance, except for the fact that I left her panties on the bed. And so Yoda like somehow tackles Moemi into bed
He
to try
slips
and
on a magazine as he's trying to like go grab the panties.
that's what it is, which I'm like, opportunity for romance.
But no.
Do it. Nope, not at all. Because I interrupts. Be like, you can use the kitchen now. But yeah, so after dinner, Yoda asks I if she would walk Moemi to the station. She comes back and he's like eating all the food that she prepared for him and was like, this was delicious. Like, thank you so much. You hit it terribly. Like, of course I was gonna find out.
Yoda's a good dude.
He is. He buys her a new outfit as a thank you.
The damn dress, at first I was like, this seems like an out of place dress. And then like I puts it on and I was like, oh, it's so cool.
I know, right? I was like, oh, that's a weird dress. And then I saw it. I was like, ah.
It's fun. And then there's that other girl wearing the dress too at the bowling alley.
Yeah.
I guess it's all the rage now.
Anyways, episode 3, the VCR starts burning up. We're starting to see little problems of conflict with I and what's gonna happen because she's tied to this VHS. Yota takes I for a date and he gets some new movie tickets, and she's like, "That's a terrible idea." Like,
Which she says
I'm a
after he
videotape.
buys them.
Mm-hmm. But she makes a good point because she's like, "I'm a videotape. You're basically taking me to work."
That's like taking someone who works at a bar for a living to a bar on a
Oh,
Friday night.
yeah.
The bar they work at.
Yeah. Oh no. You don't do that, people. And she's like, you need to ask the girl what she wants to do and think about what the girl, and if you like can't figure it out, go like get someone else to ask and then find out that way.
Put in some effort, my dudes.
Exactly. So they instead go bowling. And I's never bowled before. So she, I guess, doesn't know that you're supposed to throw it forward, not backwards. They eventually bicker and get into a bowling ball fight. So they're just throwing bowling balls at each other.
Which is so dangerous, but it did have a flashback for me for a memory. When I was a kid, we would go to like playgrounds and have gravel fights where you just pick
Oh,
up
man.
handfuls of gravel and whip them at each other across the playground.
No.
It sounds not fun, but it is so much fun because like you're throwing them long distances and they're not like large rocks, they're tiny pebbles, right? So like
Yeah.
you're only getting hit by like a few unless you like don't get to cover in time. but we would just like handfuls, and it would basically be like raining down arrows like a fantasy movie or something
Oh my
onto
gosh.
you. And it was, I don't know why, but it was so much fun as a kid.
Just throwing dangerous things at each other. Oh man. Well, anyways,
Anyways,
back to the show. They go to arcade and they spend all of Yoda's money on claw machine toys.
at least she wins everything.
She does. She's like weirdly good at claw machines. And so he's like freaking out because he's like, well, I don't have enough money now to like pay to get us a train ride home. And she's like, well, I'll figure it out. And she like basically like plays rock, paper, scissors.
She becomes like a street gambling station.
Yeah, because she understands men. Like that's what she was made
Yeah.
to do, was understand men. So she wins all of this money.
Why did the first guy take his shirt off to play rock, paper, scissors?
That's a very good question.
Like,
And
it's just like, I don't understand.
I also don't understand.
But she keeps a little kappa.
And gives it to him.
I love little kappas.
And it's like squeaky. I love it.
Yeah. Here's the thing.
Okay.
I don't care how old you are, being gifted an adorable little stuffed toy will always feel awesome. I was in Chinatown and a friend of mine had bought these 2 Totoros, little tiny ones,
Oh, I know this one.
and I was like, "Oh, what are you gonna do with the second one?" And she was like, "Here, for you." And I was like, "Oh, I'll love it forever." So thanks,
Oh,
friend. I still love
yeah.
it. It's on my desk right here. Dee-dee-dee-dee-dee.
I love your little Totoro. I remember back when we were dating for Christmas, you got me one of the like vampire teddy bear thing from Nightmare Before Christmas.
Oh yeah. Do you still have it?
No.
Rude. Rude.
I've moved.
Rude.
It's fine. I still remember. I still have the mug you got me. I love it.
Good.
Good.
But yeah, she makes a killing off these suckers.
It's so good. She just has like a bucket of cash. It's great. But anyways, it like flashes back to the house and the VHS player is starting to glitch out and it causes I to just like collapse. So she has to get piggybacked home and she realizes that if he takes her home that it's over for him and Moemi and she tells him that she was just kidding because she didn't want to walk. Which I'm like, "No, you had a very real reason and I'm so sad that you have to like play it off as something else so that you don't potentially cock block this kid." Is that appropriate to say? I don't know. But he ditches her because he's mad and goes to a movie, and Takashi is outside of the movie theater. So he takes Takashi into the movie to this rom-com.
No choice. He's like, "You're coming in."
He's like, "I don't care, you're coming with me." Who else is at the theater to see this movie? Oh, Moemi. And Takashi is trying to be like a good wingman and is like, "You should switch spots with me so you can sit next to Yota." And she's like, "No, I'm okay." And during the movie, he sees he sees her eyeing up Takashi and he's like, "You know what? I'm just gonna go." And
Because he's trying to like just let them have their time. Like he's
yeah.
accepted he's not gonna get her, and he's just like, I'm gonna let my best friend have her, but his best friend doesn't really want her.
No. Oh, but he leaves and he's like, "Oh, okay, I guess I'll just start walking." And then a rogue snowball just like smashes him in the face and turns out it's I. And yeah, he's like, "Oh, like you're wet and cold." He ends up like sharing his coat with her, which is really adorable. And they walk home and he's learning how to date and care about another person. It's very sweet.
It's just sad because she's kind of falling for him,
Mhm.
but she's not supposed to be able to.
Yeah, it's like the number one rule is you're not supposed to fall in love with your client.
But broken VCR.
Yeah,
So
I guess. Yeah. Well, we start episode 4 with Moemi calling to ask Yoda for a favor about how to flirt with Takashi. She was like, "Ow, dagger, heart." Just twisted a little bit. Holy moly.
most of this episode is just sad.
No.
Like everyone's
Oh.
feelings are getting fucked with.
Turns out Moemi, for Takashi's birthday, was going to make him a scarf. And she was asking if that's a good idea. Yeah, turns out she sucks at knitting. So they cut class basically to go to the mall to try and find a better birthday present for him. But I kind of gets the green-eyed monster and sees them skipping and just narcs on them. So they're having this like nice little knot date. And security is like, "Hey, what school do you go to?" And they're like, "Run away."
Fucking letting the
Yep.
jealousy take hold.
On this like not date, Moemi and Yoda kind of had this moment where Moemi is like, "Do you want to practice telling the other person our feelings? Because like you like someone, I know that. I don't know who it is, but I know you like someone, and I like Takashi. So maybe if we practice out loud to each other, it'll make it easier for us to tell them." It's kind of a funny moment because Yoda does say, "Moemi, I love you." She's like, "Make sure you say the girl's name so that she knows."
Oh,
Like
man,
gives him feedback.
he finally just says it, and she thinks he's just practicing.
Yeah, she calls him a kidder. Oh my gosh.
Rough, boy, rough.
Well, it gets even rougher because
Yeah.
Moemi tells Takashi that she likes him and gives him the scarf, and he turns it down because of his personal policy.
Which
Because he
is
doesn't
don't.
want to hurt people's fucking feelings. And she's like,
Yeah.
but my feelings are hurt. And so Takashi is like, well, I'll call you tonight, okay? Later on that night, Moami's like waiting by the phone and nobody's calling. So she calls Yoda. And while she's on the phone with Yoda, that's when Takashi decides that he's going to phone. So he
Ugh.
gets a busy signal, which is, oh no. Yeah, it doesn't matter because he comes to her door.
Okay, this that was so fucking creepy though. Cause like he like knocks on the door and she opens it and he's not there. And then he just
Isn't
like
he?
no, well, no, because she looks outside, she's like, what the hell's going on? And then he like whips the door open and she like stumbles out into her like front porch and then turns around and he's just standing there staring at her from the shadows. And I'm like, bro, that is super creepy.
He's like, I need to make an entrance. Basically ends with Yoda crying. I always keep thinking I'm saying Yoda. And so I'm just picturing that little green thing, just like,
The
oh
little green
no,
thing.
I'm so sad, am I? I don't know. I don't know how to Yoda.
That's your Yoda?
Shut up.
Okay.
Grr, nope, that's Stitch. Anyways, just don't worry about it. Well, now I want to try doing. Okay, you know what? Never mind. We're not gonna try doing Yoda.
Mm.
Do or do not. There is no trial. I don't know what that is. That was. Anyways, we're not Yoda impersonators. Anyways, we're gonna move on to episode 5 before we try to do any more of that. Oh, so basically it opens with Moemi and Takashi talking. Basically, while she's with him, she sees a guy and she's like, "Oh, that guy kind of looks like Yoda." And it's like
That
not
time you said
him.
Yoda.
I'm sorry, it's because I have Yoda on the mind now. Yoda is walking through the streets and he sees there's like a children's illustration contest. And so he is inspired. But while he is looking at this, there is some handsome red haired man that walks past him and notices him. And I was like, you are too striking to not be remembered. You're going to be important for something later. So I'm going to keep you in mind. But I was like, that man is fine looking. I
My
don't
next
understand.
question was going to be, did you think he was hot?
Of course. Of course I thought he was hot.
Because he looks like a goth J-rock idol?
I mean,
And I know how
I'm
you
not
love long
gonna.
red coats.
We do. We do. I do. Well, me and her. Nobody knows, but I gestured to my loins right there. Oh my gosh, who gave me a microphone? Anyways, yes, he's hot, and I noticed him. All right, now we're on to a coffee date where Moemi isn't talking because she's nervous. Takashi says he's gonna leave because she's not talking. And I was like, wow,
Yeah, he's
this
like being
guy's
a
kind
dick
of a
all of a sudden.
dick. Yeah.
Like you love him at first, and then you're like, why are you a dick?
Right? I was like, you're not being a very considerate, like, partner. I don't know. But back at the house, Ai is making him coffee, and she's wearing a tiny skirt to cheer him up because she's been noticing he's been a little down since Takashi kind of locked it down with Moami. She walks in to see this, like,
He's like Super Saiyan glowing.
he is in the zone, I guess. But they have a cute little chat, and she gives him a pep talk about his art, and then he compliments her outfit, so it's cute. And as she leaves the room, she starts getting all dizzy and starts to fade because the VHS tape is running out.
That's rough
I
because she
know.
only has like 5 days left.
She's just got a finite amount of time
And she's
left.
finally admitting that she like in her own mind at least that she loves him.
Which I was
And I'm
like,
like,
that's
oh,
dangerous.
poor girl. But
You need to
also,
squash those feelings immediately.
bro thinks that his little mouse cartoon is going to change the world.
Oh,
And
bless
it's
his
not
heart.
good.
Bless his heart.
He
You
just
know
makes this
what?
whole speech about how it's going to bring people together and he shows the art and it's just like really shitty looking mouse.
I know. I was like, oh man.
Maybe it's a child's competition and he just didn't realize and he knows and
I
he's trying to pass it off that way, but it's not good.
Nope, nope,
I
they're
thought he
not
was
great
gonna
at
like
all.
I thought he was gonna
He's
show it
very
and it was gonna be
mid.
like beautiful or something.
Nope,
But no.
very mid. Very, very mid.
Shit takes a pretty dark turn here pretty quick, huh?
Yeah, he runs out of illustration board and asks Saito to grab him more. And then he says he loves her. And then she kind of gets mad at him.
Because he's like saying it in like a joking way at first,
Oh,
and she
and
doesn't
then
like that.
she's like, don't joke about that. Then we get to the real hard shit, which is where I is coming back with the illustration board and starts like short circuiting.
That is one way to put it.
Okay, how would you put it?
She literally gets so hot and sparking that she sets fire to the stuff she's carrying and her
Yeah.
clothing.
Oh my gosh, you're right. It's so
Like,
sad.
to be that
Ugh.
fucking hot, like the VCR at home that you're burning stuff up
Mm-hmm. The
is
tape's melting.
not good, especially considering who's back.
Hot redhead guy.
He
Red
does
hair.
have a name,
What's his name?
Rolex.
Okay, we're gonna call him hot red haired guy.
You can call him the producer too. That's his other name.
That feels creepy. Well, no, and the sad part was like she's basically in this back alley dying, and Yoda's out looking for her, and he just like walks past her because he doesn't even see her.
Yeah. Also, why? And this is the third time this has happened. He falls down every set of stairs that he goes on.
Yeah, bitches be tripping. I don't know
Literally.
what that's about.
I don't think I've seen this guy run down a staircase without eating shit once in all of
Yeah.
this. In 3 hours of content.
It's yeah, it doesn't make sense. And then I mean, like while he's out, he runs into who else but Moemi, and they talk by the water. Basically, he's like when they're chatting, and he realizes that Ai's still missing, and she's like running home to try and see if she's still there.
Oof.
She's not. The lights aren't on. Basically, it ends with the red-haired guy returning Ai to the video store, calling her damaged, just revealing that he's her creator.
Moving into episode 6, were you expecting this to move to the part where Ai gets taken to another realm by a hot, evil, redheaded man?
Yeah, it got real surrealist real quick.
Yeah, like obviously it was weird because she's a VHS tape, but for
Yeah.
now it to be like some weird
Alternate
like
dimension.
alternate dimension. And like, is the guy evil? Because he's like creating these tapes to help people.
Except are they really helping people? Like, we have to have a whole chat about this whole thing. Because it's like, is it really helping these people? If it's creating this, like,
So normally
sense
that's not how
of
it
affection
goes.
and love? Okay.
So normally when the tape is not played in a broken ass VHS player, they are supposed to come out. They are supposed to literally be like a therapist that basically goes, what is your issue? Okay, here's how we'll fix it. I'm going to get you meeting all these people. Like, they basically get 1 month to like turn this person's life around in a positive way. But because
Okay.
I came out of a broken VHS, her personality gets fucked up. She becomes like a little snivy little amazing shit. She likes to suplex people and she's falling in love. And that's not supposed to happen. And he doesn't, and that's technically bad.
Mm-hmm.
So he has to delete her tape in this little other realm,
Mm.
which makes him a bad guy, but also
He's not really, though.
no, because if I write a computer program and then it doesn't work, I have to rewrite the program
Mm-hmm.
because it's a detriment to the thing that I'm building.
Yeah.
But at the same time, the way it happens is bullshit.
I know, but also at the same time, I'm like, but like, what is the future for these two characters, for Yoda and for Ai? Like, they can't have a future together because she's not real. She's not a real human.
Yeah, that gets explained more in the manga because there's more of
Okay.
her beyond volume 3 where this one ends. But yeah, this whole episode is out of nowhere.
I don't know. In this episode, I was like, well, her name's Ai, and it's like AI. Does it stand for like artificial intelligence? Is that how she's learning to love? And like, is this what our future is like? I went through a whole entire like detrimental like spiral with this episode.
Yeah. Well, the whole intro is literally him running around looking for her, and then the bad guy being like, he doesn't want you. Sorry.
Yeah. It's been weeks in the human world. Like, he's forgotten about you. And she's like, I must see him just once.
And the old man, who is not a bad guy,
No.
just like lets her
like-
see him to like prove to her he doesn't care about you anymore.
Oh, it's just there's a lot of like moral stuff which I'm not. I don't know. I'm like, nobody's really the bad guy in this episode.
No, but what bothers me
Okay.
is he's running around with like the videotape
His
cover,
blockbuster card. Oh yeah, no, the videotape card. Yeah, cover.
and he's like, have you seen this girl? And I'm like, bro, if you don't want to seem like a crazy person, don't flash someone a video girl VHS tape being like, have you seen her in real life?
Could you imagine?
Like, that just makes you look like a real fucking lunatic, my guy.
Yeah, it makes you look like you just escaped from your mom's basement.
Yeah, you're just like holding up like, I don't know, a Tenchi VHS and being like, have you seen Ryo-Oki? Where is she? She's alive, I swear.
Yeah, it's weird.
Tips Fedora.
Tips Fedora? Oh my gosh, you're hilarious. But like, well, it's funny because he's just like screaming into nothingness with this video card, being like, "I need you to get back here. I have my membership card."
But the video store is gone.
And this is where like she gets to see him through the video screen, and this is the how they make the connection for him to jump to their dimension is he just goes jumps
Well,
passionately at his TV like
well,
poltergeist or something.
before that, she's like there as like an apparition just to say goodbye.
Yeah.
And then as she like tries to pull away from it, we get a really bondagey scene where like the videotape explodes from the VHS player, like wraps her up. And I
Yeah.
was like, whoa, that was,
It
whoa,
was a little bit weird.
whoa.
It was
Now,
a choice.
again, were you expecting this series to go to the point where Bro was going to jump into a television?
No, I also wasn't expecting what was gonna happen as soon as he did jump into this television.
Oh,
Oh my gosh, like, he's being visited by, like, by Takashi and Moami, and it's basically, like, all to get him to the po like, they're both there to be like, "You don't love her. Give up."
but they're just illusions from the producer.
Yeah, exactly. So, instead, he has to, like, walk up these glass stairs
Oh,
barefoot. Every step breaks and just shatters glass into his legs.
like, and not just his legs, like, this dude is completely getting eviscerated, bleeding out, and he just keeps going up, being like, no, I gotta get to her. And the producer's
Yep.
like, what are you doing, my guy?
He's l
Like,
I know, right? Like, he's
just,
bleeding like a faucet, and this guy's like, "Stop."
he's like, she's a videotape, my guy. But
Like,
here's the thing is we can say that all we want, but sometimes when you fall in love, you fall in love. And
yeah, but
technically, while she was a videotape, she was real to him. She was real. She was tangible. She was touchable. She
I
was
know, but
there.
I understand that he's a teenager, but also you have to remember that, like, dude, you knew putting her into this tape that she was only a moment of your life.
But that's not what he was told at the video store. At the video store, he was told that this is a tape that will help get your life on track. He wasn't expecting any of this other stuff
See, but but he bought her based on the cover and
for
what he
looks,
liked.
sure.
Yeah.
But what the tape was advertised as was fixing his life to get him with the girl that he loved, which was
See,
Moemi.
I didn't have that context, so where I read it as is like he went into this weird, mysterious, kind of occulty video store, rented some sort of weird mystical videotape that is only gonna last for a month, and like have someone help you turn your life around and like help heal your heartbreak. And he ended up falling like I for me it was like, and maybe this is just because I've been like voluntarily single for like so long, but I'm like, you had to like, as soon as you started feeling those feelings, you can choose to either, like, dive into them or, like, suppress them and look and, like, let logic kind of, like,
Ah, he's
take
a
over.
teenage boy.
I know, but I'm just like, you had to have known when you got to that point that there's only a finite amount of time with her. Why are you letting yourself, like, fall in love with her? I don't know. It just yeah. It didn't make sense to me.
No,
But again, it's an anime, I get it, but I'm also like, ugh. I don't know. It just
no, you're not wrong in kind of thinking it that way because the ending of this is very confusing.
mhm. I didn't think that
Because
was the ending when I watched it.
no,
No, I was like, "That's it? That's literally the end of the series?"
well, because boy, Bro gets to her, they
Mhm.
hug, they embrace, they get this one moment of just like perfect happiness, and then she's gone and he's back in the real world.
Yep.
Now,
And he says that's fine with him.
to the point of what you were saying moments ago, saying even if the tape worked properly, how is this not going to stop like whatever, whatever? This is my interpretation based off what happened. I haven't read the manga. I don't fully know. But based off what I see at the end, I'm pretty sure at the end of the 30 days, your memory of this person is wiped. Because normally they're not supposed to be that interactive in your life. They're supposed to be in your house helping solve your problems. Unfortunately, because she was broken, was following him around, getting involved in stuff and yada, yada, yada. I'm pretty sure you're supposed to use this tape, get your stuff on track, and then after that, you are erased of the memory of the video girl. That's what my interpretation is of this. Because he says, she goes, this will be, a temporary moment. He goes, I don't care. And I think it's because he knows that the memory is about to completely fade, but he wants to feel it in that moment. I'm almost certain the context for this, and again, I could be wrong, let us know if I'm wrong, is that your memory of this girl gets wiped. Because if it didn't, the tape would be pointless. Because even if it was a robotic, like, oh, please tell me what you need in your life, you can still fall in love. We've seen like Her and other things like that where people just fall in love with random shit. Anime body pillows. There's someone who's dating a figure of Hatsune Miku and had quote unquote married it in Japan. Like people do weird shit. But if the memory of that girl was going to get erased at the end of it, then I'm like, then it's effective because it solves all your problems. It gives you those ideas of what to do to fix and change your life. And then the memory of that girl's gone. And you have all these ways to fix and change your life.
Yeah, I mean, I think this has sparked a bigger conversation than we figured it would, just in terms of relationships and heartbreak and healing and moving on from things. Because like I fully understand that there are different, like I try not to judge people for their styles of how they choose to show and receive affection.
Mhm.
I listen to a lot of Dr. Chris Donahue, who's a sex therapist in LA. But he talks about one of the things that this kind of makes me think of is he talks about like not judging people who have those, yeah, like the body pillows or sex dolls or things like that, because it could be like their situation of where they live. Maybe they can't find a partner to express the like their sexuality in a certain way. Maybe they don't have the visual quote unquote like market value to find a mate who they can explore these things with. So I guess like I do understand from that point of view, but it's still I
Well,
just
now I just look like an asshole.
You need to listen to
I'm
more
over here
Dr.
being
Chris.
like, don't fucking date your body pillow. And you're like, look, man, sometimes people have bad situations. And I'm like, fuck, you're right.
Oh yeah.
Societally, it is weird. Other ways, fine. You might have your reasons.
It's only
I'm an
weird because you've been taught
asshole.
that it's weird.
Really? Getting married to a doll?
Yeah, okay. Getting married to them, that's a whole other thing. But having, yeah, I don't know. Expressing, anyways, we're not a sex therapy podcast. Neither of us are qualified. We
No.
instead watch retro animes and judge it.
But yeah, the ending of this is confusing, especially
Mhm,
considering the manga goes on way longer.
mhm.
I still really like the damn series.
I'm not gonna say that this is a terrible series. It has things that bother me, but I do like the series overall. Like it is a net positive for me.
Yeah, I would have no problem if they had 12 more episodes, 6 more
Mhm.
episodes, just because it's cute, it's fun. I like the dang voice of I. I just,
Hmm.
it's just such. Yeah, the last 2 episodes get really intense and heavy, but
Yeah,
the
they
first
do.
3 are just full of like just fun little
Just
gags of people
a
just being
fun,
silly.
quirky little, yeah, like rom-com kind of thing.
If you had to give it a rating, Lindsay, what would it
Oh
be?
man. Okay, let me think about this. Um, I don't know. I'd say it's like I like how my brain was like 7.12. Yeah, I think I'm gonna go with 7.12.
Ooh, you're
What
pretty
is
dang close.
okay?
Not as close as I was on Tokameki,
Dang it.
but the score on Mal is 7.19,
Oh wow. Okay.
with the manga getting a 7.68.
Oh wow. Okay. So pretty
So
consistent in
pretty
terms of like
good.
adaptation.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's
that's
a
not too
little
bad.
different, but like it was they knew they weren't going to be going beyond the 3 manga volumes, which is why they ended it the way they did in the anime as opposed to how the
Okay.
manga specifically works. But I think people should watch it. It's not super well known within like the modern mainstream kind of listeners compared to things like, Dragon Ball and Sailor Moon and stuff like that, or even like Serial Experiments Lane. But I think it's worth the watch just for some of those like just great little comedic moments and
Absolutely. I would definitely recommend people watch this.
hell yeah.
It was great. I enjoyed Brad Swell. I always enjoyed Maggie Blue O'Hara.
We're gonna have to make a second podcast called Swalecast.
Oh
And
my
it's
gosh,
just,
I almost said Swelltail. That's not right.
ooh, we want to get some of that that'll be our tagline. Join us for some
No.
swale tail.
Yeah, because it could be like Tale, Swelltail.
This week on Swale Tail, we're watching.
Brad Swell, you can have that for free. Just contact us. We'll give you our blessing.
Could you imagine if for your birthday I just got Brad Swale on as a little guest?
I would love that so much. I was like, and then we could watch Hamtaro. We could have him as a guest for watching Hamtaro. Yep. Now we need to do this. We need to manifest this. Brad Swell.
Well, check back in July to see if we manage to get Brad Swale on the podcast.
Oh my gosh, he's in Vancouver. We can make this work.
But with that being said, thank y'all for listening to us talk about Video Girl Eye. Make sure to check it out. Also, make sure to check us out across all your favorite podcasting platforms. Give us that follow, give us that like, give us that rating and review, because that definitely helps us out. But if you really want to help out the show, head on over to patreon.com/animates, where you get access to ad-free episodes and videos to skip all that YouTube jazz, get access to some bonus content, get access to our Discord. You can talk with the community, which is slowly growing up in there, which is nice.
Get all of our cool music recommendations.
Oh, yeah. Hell yeah. And also get a shout out on the podcast, which, speaking of which, we want to give a shout out to our supporting characters and our retro cuties. Thank you so much for supporting the show. But then moving on to our chibi champions, we've got, as usual, Butler Rat and our newest chibi champion, Swamp Wizard,
Ooh.
which is a pretty sick name.
Is that just like Swamp Thing?
Or is he a wizard of the swamp?
Maybe he's a wizard who controls the swamp.
I don't know. But
Maybe
their
he just makes
username on
swamps.
maybe, but their name on here is Swamp Wizard. So thanks,
Cool.
Swamp Wizard.
Let's write a dissertation about why that name is what it is. We'll
Or
connect with you
comment-
on Discord and ask
Yeah.
you for more.
Comment on us. I want to know what Swamp Wizard means to you specifically.
Ooh, yeah.
But yeah, make sure to check out patreon.com/animates to help support the show. It means a lot to us, and we love everyone that does it. With that being said, we will be back next week when Lindsay will be hosting and offering me up something that will hopefully be just as sweet, but I'm pretty sure I'm owed getting something terrible soon. So we'll see.
I'm not even going to give you any sort of hint as to which way.
That's fine. No, I'm going to assume it's the best thing I've ever watched.
Okay.
Yep, that's what I'm putting on for your next week. Is I'm going to assume it's the best thing I've ever watched, which is a tough thing to beat.
I'm excited to record the intro to this next episode right after this.
All right, everybody, we will catch you next time. Goodbye.
Ciao, ciao.